Hi, everyone. So, ramen has officially left the building. I no longer dream about it or look forward to it on a daily basis. It is gone, and it took all my fucking money, too. Oh, man. Why am I like this? But yeah, that was a very expensive addiction or whatever the fuck that was, a fixation. That was very expensive. So it is gone. And what is in its place is what you might find in the backpack of a teenager. Nerds, Twizzlers, and more Spree. And gummy bears. What is this candy thing I have now? So that's where we're at. I went to the store this morning and I did get 3 more boxes of Spree because they still have the 3 boxes for $5 special. But like I said last time, I don't need a special to get Spree. And I also needed Old Lady Cream, aka that coconut vitamin E oil cream shit that keeps the itchy skin less itchy. So that's what I told myself that was the primary reason for going to Walgreens, not the candy, but whatever. So yeah, goodbye ramen. It's been great. Okay, but that's not why I'm on here today. I'm on here because I think I've talked about this before. I don't think I did an episode, and at this point, I can't go back and look at anything because there's too many. But it's just one of those things that happened that reminded me that I'm a bit selfish. But I think that that's up for interpretation because I don't quite view it as being selfish. But basically what happened was the other day. So maybe I should just back up because, I have to have the context and the details first. So I am on my snarky tea kick. And I bought my own teacup because I had been using Alicia's. Then I used this other one that isn't really a teacup, like a cup for tea, not like a little teacup. Anyways, we were at the Asian store when I was stocking up on some stuff, and I got this teacup that had Japanese kanji on it because it reminded me of home. And I liked it because it was nice and thick. And it felt nice in my hands. So I got it. And that's the cup I've been using for my tea. And I'm the kind of person, this is all very weird stuff, but I don't think I'm the only one that's like this. So I have cups where certain beverages can go in them and nothing else. So the mugs are for coffee only. My mugs are. I don't care what the fuck she does with her mugs. But my mugs are only for coffee. Because one time she put hot cocoa in it and I was pissed. And I'll explain why in a minute. But, I have another cup. It's just for orange juice. Does anybody else do this? This can't just be me. And I have my wine glass, but I don't even remember the last time I had wine. So anyways, she's in the kitchen and her back was to me. She was pouring herself a drink. And I was coming out toward the kitchen. And as I was walking toward her, she turns around and what does she have in her hand but my teacup that I bought from the Asian store, and it is mine. And I didn't as soon as she turned around, the first thing I did was, no, you didn't. And she's like, what? And I was like, why would you do that? And she still didn't get it. And I'm like, that's my fucking cup. Like I'm a child. I said, that's my fucking cup. And Alicia was like, so what? You know what? She didn't even have tea in it. She put fucking orange juice in that cup. And it just came right out of my mouth because it's been a while. She knows not to touch my shit. I don't know what possessed her to just start using my stuff. Because in my world, what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. So I don't share very much. but I do expect others to share. So that's not very fair. But anyways, that was like my initial reaction. I didn't even think about it. And then as soon as I reacted that way, I was a little bit embarrassed because I did not expect that to happen. And I had to re-explain to her, well, no, she didn't know about the beverage thing with like only certain cups. It's not like I tried to keep it a secret, but I've been doing this my entire life that it doesn't dawn on me that it might be odd to people who don't do this. But anyways, I had to explain to her, number one, that's not yours. You have your own teacup. You use yours. If you want to put orange juice in it, fine. And, not for nothing, but why are you putting orange juice in a teacup when there's other glasses that are available to use? I don't understand. And this is where I might sound a little bit gross, but I cannot wash cups with the washcloth that is used on dishes. I can't get past in my mind that there could be like leftover, I don't know, bacteria or something like in the cups from the washcloth. It just seems dirty in my mind to use a washcloth that was used for dishes to put that into cups. I also don't like putting dish soap in cups because I can taste that shit. I don't care if it's gone through a dishwasher. I can taste the suds, and that's gross. And so I just, as soon as I'm done with a glass, I go right to the sink and I wash it out, or I put water in it and I wash it later. But I usually just run it under water several times, swish it around, use my hands to kind of clean out the inside, and then it's good to go for the next time. And to me, that doesn't sound dirty. To me, that sounds clean. So whenever I clean Alicia's glasses, she knows what she's getting. And whenever she gets her hands on mine, which I try not to have that happen as much as possible, I know that she's going to use a washcloth and soap, and I fucking hate it. I hate it. Because let's say that I took my teacup and I just drank orange juice out of it for a whole week. Then no matter what I put into that cup afterwards, I'll only taste like the orange juice. I'll always only taste orange juice. There will always be orange juice in the background. And maybe that's because I don't wash cups like other people do, or like you're supposed to. And then maybe that's why. I don't know why I'm like this. This is how I've always been. I can't remember being any different. So I had to explain to her that don't touch my shit. If you have a teacup, go get your own. Like that sounds rude, but it makes no sense to me to grab something that's not yours. Like, get your own. That's why we each have our own stuff. But, in our last couples session, this was kind of brought up in a different way. And Alicia was telling Tia, yeah, she's pretty territorial, which I am. And it's true. And I don't know if I want to change that. I mean, I'm not like a dick about it until you use my stuff. And I wasn't even rude to her. But anyways, like, I need to work on this apparently. But like, do I? I don't know. So this made me think of other things too. And it just reinforced the fact that I think the way I operate is better. So don't use my stuff. And I don't think that that's very selfish, but it kind of does sound selfish, doesn't it? So with the counter, I'll give you some examples. In the kitchen, there are counters, because that's what you find in kitchens. And there's like this one section of counter that's on the other, like it's on the right-hand side of the sink. It's like, I don't know, half a section. I don't know how to, it's just a piece of counter. I'll just say that. It's just a piece of counter, and it's mine. And I never formally said, this is my counter. Like, this part of it's mine. I never said that. I assumed that that was a given because my shit is there. My tea bags for the snarky tea are in my little bowl. that I have. Sometimes I have like a bowl of apples. I have my mints over there, my candies over there. Shit that I use is on that counter. There is nothing on that part of the counter that is Alicia's. I even put my cups on that part of the counter in the hopes that she won't use them sometimes. Or like I'll put them in a different cabinet because she won't open very many to find what she wants. So yeah, apparently she didn't know as of the other day when this incident with the cup happened. And I told her, like, you know, plus it's on my side of the counter, like it's on my part of the counter. And she didn't even know that that was mine because I never said that out loud. And then I was like, do I need to say it out loud? Like, you don't belong over there. There's nothing on that counter that's yours. So there's that. My chair, I don't care if the chair was at, like, chairs that I've sat in at college. You know, when, like, you go to classes and you've got, like, that one spot that you like to sit in. It always baffled me why, like, people could just come in and sit in different chairs and different desks every day and be okay with that. Like, I don't understand that. I always wanted to get the same one. So I was pissed when somebody else was sitting there, and I would go up to them and ask if they could please move. That's how much I wanted that spot. And that's not been any different with any other place I've put my ass throughout my life. You know, like my recliner, don't sit in my chair. It's mine. You have your own. Go sit in yours. My office chair at work, like I bought my own office chairs because I didn't want to sit in the cheap shit that like they just had cheap cheers, in my opinion. And so I went and bought one, and people wanted to sit in my chair, and that wasn't allowed. And when we went to, like, we had our staff meetings every week, I had a specific spot at the table. I would always get there early to make sure that nobody took my spot. I would put my things down by it, because in my mind, there is no other place to sit. That is the only place for me to sit. There's no other place. Like, I don't care if there's 20 chairs available. I just want the one that I always go to. Because it's familiarity, you know, it's just comforting to always go to the same chair. And so, yeah, so I'm territorial about stuff like that, even when the furniture doesn't belong to me. Which I probably shouldn't be like that. Alicia likes to, during the winter, she'll use my gloves to go out snow blowing when she can't find hers. And that pisses me off. Like, those aren't her gloves. And I sound like a child right now, and I get that, but this is just the way that I am, and I'm just sharing it, and because I know that there's some of you out there that are like this. But yeah, during the winter, if she can't find her stuff, she'll use mine, and I get livid because sometimes she'll be putting gas in the snowblower, and it'll get on the gloves, and then that's all you'll smell ever on those gloves is just gasoline. I don't like it when she wears my winter hats. Like, I have a whole cubby. Like, I don't know how to describe. I have, like, this thing of cubes. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It just has cubes, and you put things in each cube. Like, you could put a book in there, or you can put, like, knickknacks or whatever. And so in two of the cubes, there's drawers. One's for her, one's for me. And it's got all of our winter shit. And we need to have them because she needs to know where her shit is so she stops using mine. So she's not allowed to do that. She's not allowed to use any of my hoodies or my shoes. Like, nothing at all is allowed if it belongs to me. My snacks, my food, my drinks, everything. Like, I know I was just talking about that, but don't touch my shit. Sometimes if I get something that she likes too, I don't know what an example would be. Oh, I don't know. Like, I can't think of anything off the top of, well, maybe I'll just go with Twizzlers. So, like, let's say that I have a bag of Twizzlers and, you know, like, when we do grocery shopping, she's very well aware of, like, what is okay to have that we can both share, what I don't want her touching of mine. And I always tell her, if you think that you're going to want several of whatever it is that I'm getting, you better get your own. And I only say that because I know just how much I have at any given time of the thing that I want. And she likes to consume things fairly quickly, and I don't. Like, I could have Twizzlers laying around for 2 weeks. And then, you know, maybe I'll have a couple, and then 2 weeks later is when I'll want another one. And if I don't hide them, she'll eat them knowing that they're mine. And her excuse is, well, they were there. You weren't touching them. Like, they were just sitting there for days. That is not the point. The point is that they are not yours. I told you, get your own fucking bag. Get your own bag. Because I get so bent out of shape when I go to grab something and I thought there was a certain amount of whatever the food was in there, like, I don't know, chips or something, just to find out that the bag is lighter, or, you know what I mean? Like, she's been in it. And then I'll have to have a conversation with her again. Like, I don't even think I need to have these anymore because I just feel like I'm talking to a wall at this point. And this is all stuff I've told her, so it's not like she doesn't know this. But yeah, I just don't understand that. If you think you might want some Twizzlers and you think you might want more than like a few, you need to get your own and not touch mine. I don't like that. Yeah, I just don't like that. My books, like, because I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I read off of Kindle. I like to have physical books too. And whenever I catch her reading a book that I bought, books are a bit different. Like, of course she can read the book. We have a library. We combined her books and my books a long time ago. So they're intermingled, and technically they're our books, both of our books. But, you know, I might catch her reading one that I bought like 5 years ago and only read it the one time. But I feel like she should have asked before she started reading it. Like, hey, is this okay? And you know what? Like, that's not at all what she needs to be doing. It's just a thought that I had, like, oh, you should have. Like, why didn't you ask? And I have to keep talking myself out of that thought, because there's just some things that, like, your spouse should not have to ask you for. Like, she shouldn't have to ask if she can read a fucking book that I bought years ago that I haven't touched. But, like, my brain just does these weird things when I see somebody in possession of something that's mine. And by the way, I think it needs to be like, don't we need to rethink how we teach sharing to kids? Because sharing is not always caring. Sometimes sharing turns into staring. And I remember all the way back to kindergarten, I just have this one very clear memory of playing with some toys. I don't have a clear memory of what the toy was. I just remember there was like multiples of whatever it was. And I had all of the parts of whatever this toy was. And there was this other kid that wanted the toy or some of it, I don't know. And started fucking crying because I wasn't sharing. And I remember the teacher coming over and basically just taking whatever the toy I had was and just giving it to the kid and then saying, you know, like, we need to share. And she had a mean face on when she said it. So I don't know if that traumatized me and that's why I don't like to share. I don't think that's it, but you know, sometimes I wonder. Or like with my brother growing up, I'm sorry, but with Christmas, my presents are my presents, your presents are your presents, unless you're not around, and then I play with them. And then when I'm not around, mine are hidden or locked away. You know, like, this is the kind of shit that I used to do all the time. I didn't like to share because, you know, like, when I was a kid, if I would let somebody borrow a book, they would give the book back to me with pages folded or bent, or maybe like it got scratched or something. It came back to me in a condition that wasn't how it was when I gave it to the person. And I don't like that, because it feels like you did not respect my property. You didn't take care of it. And now you're giving it back to me and it looks like this, and it didn't look like this before. You know, like, there's all these issues I have. My pens, I love Sharpie pens. I broke my finger years ago and I wasn't able to use regular pens to write because you have to push harder. So I would get like the Sharpie pens where you don't have to really press hard at all. And that's all I've been using ever since because I love them. And I will buy a couple times a year. They have a pack of 15 on sale. So I'll buy the whole box of them just to make sure I always have them around. And it doesn't matter if I have 30 of those pens. If I see Alicia using one of them, that lets me know that she went to my area where the pens are stashed in my room and took a pen and walked away with it and used it and didn't even ask. I don't care how many pens I have. That's not the point. That's not your pen. And you know why? Because people write differently. They use different pressures. So some people write harder. And she's done that with those pens before. And then I'll get it back and it's not right. I can't use it because she's pressed it down so hard. You know, it's difficult to write with. Like, it's just, I'm very specific about that stuff. My mousse for my hair. After showers, I just put some mousse in my hair so that it kind of stays somewhat not crazy looking. And we each use different brands. So when hers is out, she just starts using mine instead of just buying her own. And it's basically, if I don't buy her mousse, she'll just keep using mine. So I go get it for her because it's my mousse. I know how long those bottles last for. If you start using them here and there, I can't keep track of how long this bottle is going to last. This is the stuff that happens in my head. My side of the bed. Does anybody know anybody, or are you like this, where if you have a spouse or like a partner or whatever, don't you have your own side of the bed? And that's the side that you're always on, whether you're in a hotel or, you know what I mean? Like, that's your side of the bed. And Alicia doesn't understand that concept. And because sometimes, like, I would catch her laying on my side of the bed, like in the middle of the day, just like petting a cat or something, and I would get pissed because it's my side of the bed, and she doesn't understand that side of the bed my body's indented in it in a certain way, like it's used to my pressure, that side of the bed, and it's my side of the bed. You don't belong there, because if I go and lay on hers, I can feel a clear difference in the mattress. We don't even have that mattress where like you can have two sides different. It's just one big mattress, but you know, like, stay away from my side. And then when we go to hotels, every other hotel stay, I feel like we have this discussion, and she'll put her stuff over on the wrong side of the hotel bed. And I'm like, this is my side. And she's like, well, we just got here. So, and I'm like, no. This is where I sleep, no matter where we are. Is this too hard? I mean, this doesn't seem like hard thinking to me. What else? There's probably so much else. The only other thing I can think of is like the streaming platforms that I use, like Netflix or Showtime or Apple TV. I make sure there's always two accounts, one for her and one for me, with whatever streaming platform allows you the option of having multiple accounts in the same household. I always make sure that I have my own, because this bitch will go in there, and I'm talking about Alicia, she'll just start watching some stupid shit. And then the next thing I know, my algorithm got messed up, and I'm getting recommendations for Glow Up or Blow Up or whatever that competition show is on Netflix. I don't watch crap like that. No offense to anybody that does, but there's not enough drama. There's not enough story in it. There's not enough relationships between people for me to be interested in watching something like that. And so she does have her own accounts now, but once in a while, like if we get like a new stream, like if we got, I don't know, I think I got Peacock, I think was the last one I got. And I don't even remember, I don't think she has it. But anyways, no, like the first thing I do is I check to see, like, is there an option for more than one account? Because her and I couldn't be more different when it comes to most things, and TV is definitely one of them. I think I've talked about this before. The algorithms are real. Don't fuck with mine. That's all I have to say. But yeah, this episode was basically for those of you out there who don't like people touching your shit. And you know what? No, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you've been married to somebody for 50 fucking years. Don't touch their bottle of mousse and leave their teacup alone. Like, get your own. Is this weird? I don't think so. But I also kind of do think so, because if I take a step back, I don't think an ordinary person would be like, only tea goes in this cup, only orange juice in this cup. You know, like, I haven't met anybody like that. I haven't met anybody that admits to not using a washcloth when they wash their cups out. So you guys there's got to be some of you that exist that do this. Can you let me know if you're out there? Like, do you do this too with your cups? Are you very territorial over stuff that's yours? You know, I could sit here and I could devote just a whole podcast to my shit. Don't touch my shit, and all of the reasons why somebody should not be touching your shit. But I won't do that. So that's all I've got for today. Sharing is not always caring. That's my message. Thanks for listening. Okay, bye.